Who was Rosamond Gifford?
Rosamond Gifford was a very unique individual, marched to her own drummer, very much a recluse, animal lover.
That's
She
what
liked
I know.
horses.
And she liked horses.
Animals.
Yeah. She moved from here and went to Oneida Shores.
Every year at tax time, when I write my check to the government, I want to do what Rosamond used to do, which is say to the Infernal Revenue Service, but I don't.
She's buried in DeWitt.
I think it was amazing that her father, as an attorney for the city of Syracuse, was able to amass $1.25 million to leave to her, and then her to have that kind of money, period, and then to continue to grow it was amazing.
Rosamond did not have any family, any heirs, and was advised by a group of Central New York bankers, lawyers, and accountants.
Her lawyer and her banker said, well, why don't you start a foundation?
It was a board that was dominated by members of the families of those advisors for many years, continuing into the period of time when I first came on the board. And I would have to assume that it was Berman that made this foundation succeed very, very quickly.
Gifford gave out scholarships,
That really provided first-generation students access to higher education.
and they helped build buildings.
They had become known in those early years pretty much as a bricks and mortar foundation, supporting capital investments. The Lemoyne College campus is on the site of the original Gifford farm, and I think there was always quite a bit of support there.
The Rosamond Gifford Zoo, the opening of the School of Social Work.
And the Gifford Lecture Series, which was superb and continues today.
It was a slow evolution to go from bricks and mortar to this really being engaged in the community.
We had some really, really difficult conversations around race and class at the board level in terms of our decision-making.
The really tough decisions were made when Bob Dewey decided that they were moving away from the paid board and trying to get people more engaged and broadening the mission and the involvement of the board.
In addition to discussing size of the board, the very important aspect of diversity in many ways.
We started in the mid to late 90s to look at our community with a different eye and look to the resources of the foundation to grow capacity in organizations and in individuals. As the direction of the board's vision changed, so too did the requirements to grow our staff. Kathy was hired in the late 1990s.
We hired Kathy into those two roles, first program director and then executive director, and allowed her to really lead us in building the applications around those concepts that we know were important, but we didn't know where to go with it.
We became embedded funders, really spending time in community and making sure that the dollars were being used in a way that made sense to the community and that the community had control over those dollars.
We do support arts and culture organizations. We support continually the zoo. The Oswego Bookmobile was a wonderful grant. We were involved very early on in the Southside Food Co-op, the Westside Resource Center, Oneida Community Mansion House. In 2003, our neighborhood gang and gun violence work started, and that was really the door that got us down into the south side of the city of Syracuse.
Started with us in the community, talking to people in the community. We were trying things.
Yeah. Community gardens, small home repair projects on the south side.
We fixed, I think, 92 different houses down in the south side because we realized there was a big population of people who owned their homes, but they weren't going to be able to maintain them.
Gifford came into the community, wants to know what they can do to better the south side and empower the people.
We learned a lot of lessons on the south side, and we took some of those lessons learned and began to do some great work on the near west side.
The Near West Side Initiative. We started the organization and funded the incorporation of it and got help with the first board.
To engage neighborhood residents without gentrifying the neighborhood.
You got to talk to the neighbors. This is their neighborhood. They want to help improve this neighborhood.
They come to us as residents and support us in what we need. Their What If grant has opened many doors for people.
It's a what if.
The What If mini grants really stemmed from an early project which was to show some movies in the neighborhoods. The What If name sort of stems from the concept of fill in the blank.
We could help neighborhoods who were committed. Enough of them get together and say, we got an idea. They didn't have to have an organization. We could find a fiscal person to be responsible for the money grant we would give them.
Our relationship with Onondaga Earth Corps is very special. It initiated out of a small grant that we made.
And these trees we're going to plant, I want you guys to feel some responsibility. These are your trees.
To say, listen, it's not about me, it's about you and what you want to do and what you can do.
We're trying to turn this whole city into a green city, clean city for a better quality of life.
With other funders and as a convener, we've supported the growth of the Ideas Collaborative.
Watching Gifford make an impact with this Ideas Collaborative. There was these 4 organizations that had an event. Their audiences are predominantly black, predominantly white, and they came together at St. Paul's Church and they had an event. So people were exposed to organizations and music that they would not be exposed to ordinarily.
We also support leadership development initiatives.
We're teaching people and giving them the tools to be great board members.
In the board development workshops that we do, it's helping people to understand what it means to have a diverse board.
One of the projects that Gifford is most proud of and is very well known for is our advance program.
3 intense years as we were reformatting and restructuring almost the whole agency through this program. But it gave La Liga a lot of strength after all the work got done, and we still use all of the materials and all of what we learned through Advance, and it's what keeps the agency actually on its feet.
I think Rosamond would be very proud of all that has been accomplished in the last 60 years.
I hope that she's very proud of what the Gifford Foundation has done over these years, because we've certainly used that money well, I think.